In this video, I'll be showing you how I made this beautiful Bubu dress. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I used 2 different Ankara prints in achieving this style. And for each print, you need 2 yards, making a total of 4 yards. The first thing we want to do is to connect the 2 fabrics together. This fabric on the screen is what I'm going to join at the top and at the bottom, while this other one that I am holding is what will be in the middle. Before measuring and cutting, ensure that you fold the fabric into 4. To cut out the joining at the top, the measurement is going to be 9 inches. Although I used 10 inches, I eventually realized that 10 inches was gonna be too much, so I reduced that to 9 inches. I cut that out and place aside. The next thing to do is to measure 14 inches from what is left and cut that out as well. And this 14 inches length of fabric will serve as the fabric that will be joined at the down part. Kindly support your girl by subscribing, liking and sharing this video. Thank you. Now I'll be working on the fabric that I'll be using in the middle. After folding into 4, I'll mark my desired length and cut out. For this middle fabric, I used a length of 33 inches. Please note that I folded the fabric into 4 because I am cutting the front and the back together. So one side is going to be for the front while the other will be for the back. So after you are done cutting on fold, ensure that you open up all the 3 layers. This means that you'll be having a total of 6 fabric. 1 set for the front, the other set for the back. Now the next thing we'll be doing is to join the 3 layers for the front and the 3 layers for the back together. Please note that this is more like a preliminary phase of the cutting of this dress. Currently, I am joining all the pieces together and I am joining the top and bottom piece to the middle piece for the front and then for the back. After joining, I lay the front and the back piece on top of another, and before imputing the shoulder measurement, I'll leave a space for the drawstring that will be at the shoulder. And to do this, just go down by 1.5 inches. Now I am connecting the points using my ruler, and I'll proceed to impute the rest of the body measurement, which is going to start on that line. Please note this. For my shoulder slant, I'll be going down by 1.5 inches. For my sleeve length, I decided to use the whole of the width of the fabric. Feel free to trim to your desired length if yours is going to be too long. But for context, my shoulder measurement divided by 2 is 7.5, which is what I am currently imputing on the screen. While the sleeve measurement is 15.5, which is also the same thing as what is left on the fabric, which is why I said I decided to use the whole of the width for my sleeve length. Please note that for this style, we are cutting the shoulder and the sleeve together. In situations where you need to cut the sleeve separate from the shoulder, this cutting procedure is not applicable. I have defined the shoulder slant using my ruler. The next thing I'm to do is very important and I'll require your 100% attention. Remember I said that the space upward is for the drawstring. However, we cannot use it this way because the shoulder is not straight. The shoulder is in a slant position. Therefore, I'll be transferring the slant I made down. I'll be transferring that upward. And in order to achieve that, I'll be measuring 1.5 inches upward. I'll be measuring the 1.5 inches at the beginning of the line and also at the end of that slant line, and I'll be connecting together using my ruler. The 1.5 inches that I just created at the top will serve as the drawstring allowance. Now I'll be cutting out the excess after creating the top slant. So this is what it looks like now after cutting. Please note that your measurement starts from the second slant. Remember that the first slant is for your drawstring. I'm just going to go ahead and create strokes in the space between the first and the second slant so that you know that you have to start measuring from the second slant, so you can replicate this at your end so you do not get confused. Now I'll be working on the neckline. Since the fabric for the front and back are overlaid on top of each other, I'll go ahead to impute the neckline for both the front and the back. For the neckline width, I'll be using 3.5 inches for the front and the back. For the back neckline, I'll be using 1.5 inches for the depth. So it's 3.5 by 1.5, and I'll connect that using my freehand. If you have a curve, you can decide to use one. I'll go ahead to extend the width upward, signifying that I have to cut that part out as well. Not to worry, it's not going to be too big. Remember that the allowance at the top is for our drawstring, which will have no effect on the depth of the neckline after sewing. The next thing I'll be doing is to impute the depth for the front neckline. So from the starting line, I measured 8 inches, and to get that V-shaped, I'll be connecting that point to the width of the neckline using my ruler. Watch me closely and I'm sure you are going to get it. The next thing I'll be doing is to cut out, and when I am cutting out, I cut out the back neckline while the both fabrics are overlaid. Exactly what you see on the screen is what I am explaining. Now, before cutting the front neckline, I'll be lifting up the front piece from the back piece so that I do not make the mistake of cutting them together. It also depends on how you overlaid your fabric. If your back fabric is inside the front, all you need to do is to remove the inner fabric before cutting this front neckline. After cutting, the next thing I'll be doing is to transfer that drawstring allowance on the back fabric. So that is what you can see me do. I am just measuring 1.5 inches and I am connecting together using my ruler. I really love to sew accurately, which is why I am doing this procedure. Now, I'll be imputing the rest of my body measurements on the fabric. Remember, our measurement is to start from the second drawstring line. And for my round sleeve, I'll be using 12 inches. For the wideness of the clothes, I'll be using my hip measurement, which is 44 inches. And I'll be dividing 44 inches by 4, giving a total of 11. To the 11 inches, I'll be adding 6 inches for the ease allowance as well as the sewing allowance. So I'll be transferring the measurements for the width, which is a total of 17 inches. I'll be transferring it to the down part of the dress and I'll be connecting together using a ruler. I am using my hip measurements because it is the largest round measurement on my body. So if your bust is larger than your hips, please feel free to use your bust for determining the width of your dress. The next thing we'll be doing is to connect the sleeve opening we measured earlier to the width of the clothes. We will be slanting the sleeve, and to achieve that, remove 1 inch from the wideness of the sleeve and connect that to the shoulder line using a ruler. The dress has a pocket by the side. I'm so sorry I filmed this off camera, but all you need to do is to measure 19 inches from the shoulder line, and once you get the 19 inches, measure another 7 inches for the length of the pocket, and then you can also use 7 inches for the wideness. If what you have left on your fabric is not enough, you can add to it. Now the next thing I'll be doing is to cut the facing for the front neckline and then the back neckline. To achieve this, get a piece of fabric, fold it into 2, and then place the front neckline or the back neckline on top of the fabric, just as I am doing in the video. This is for the back neckline, and if you watch closely, you are going to see how I achieved the inner facing. After placing it over, you can proceed to cut it out. This is what it looks like after cutting out, and I am just trimming the edges and forming a curve around it. I'll just go ahead and repeat the same procedure for the front neckline. Now that I am done cutting the facing, the next thing I'll be doing is to attach that facing to the neckline. So I'll be placing the facing on top of the neckline first, and remember that the facing is going to be inside. And to achieve this, ensure that you are placing the right side of the facing on the right side of the fabric. In other words, ensure you place right side facing right side. The next thing I'll be doing is to pin round the placement. I'll be repeating the same procedure for the back facing. After pinning round, I'll be moving to the machine to sew. And when I am sewing, I'll be sewing about half an inch around those places that I put the pins. This fabric on the screen is what I'll be using to cut the drawstring. And you know, for the drawstring, we need 4 ropes, 2 for the shoulders and 2 at the down part of the dress. So this is a long fabric, 2 long fabrics that I folded into 2. And I'll be measuring 1.5 inches. That's going to be the width that I'll be using. And I'll connect together and cut that out, which will serve as the drawstring for the shoulder and the down. I'll be repeating the same procedure so that this particular one on the screen is 2, and I'll be taking the 1.5 measurement again as soon as I cut this one so that the pieces that I need will be complete. Remember, we need a total of 4 ropes. Now that I am done cutting all that I will be needing to make this dress, I will proceed to start sewing. The first thing I'll be attaching is the facing for the front and the back, and this is what it looks like after attaching. That was for the front neckline, and this is for the back neckline. After sewing, I ensured that I ironed them very well so that the shape can really come out. I also used Emmy gum to achieve a seamless finish when ironing. The next thing I'll be doing is to place the front side on top of the back side, right side facing right side. And this is what it looks like after placing. The reason why I am doing this is because you know there is a lot of joining in this fabric, and I just want to ensure that all the measurements are aligning. The next thing I'll be doing is to stitch the hand. For this fabric, unlike other Bubu styles, normally we stitch the shoulders together before stitching the hands, but just because we have a drawstring at the shoulder, the first thing I'll be doing is to fold in the edges of the hand. After stitching the edges of the hand, I'll be stitching the shoulders afterwards. And in stitching the shoulders, I'm going to be using, remember that when we were measuring, it was 1.5 inches allowance that we left for both the sewing allowance and the drawstring allowance. So I'm going to be ensuring that what I am sewing is exactly 1.5 inches. And in achieving that, I'm going to be using my tape rule to measure. Now, I'll proceed to the machine. Remember, folding the ends first before stitching the shoulders together. This is what it looks like now. I have folded the edges of the hand and I have also stitched the shoulder. Also, I have sewn all the ropes that will be needed for the fabric, and the next thing now is to attach the rope to the shoulder. Remember, the rope we cut out was very long. So now, in working on one shoulder, pick one of the ropes and divide it into 2 equal parts. Now, I'll be explaining to you how to implement the drawstring on the shoulder. You are going to be placing each of the rope, the one you cut into 2, you're going to place in each of it inside the allowance that we previously left, just like I am doing in the video. And ensure that the rope starts at the neckline. After placing it, pick a pin and secure that starting point. Secure the rope to the neckline, and I'll be doing that for the 2 sides. If you are still here, kindly subscribe to my channel if you are yet to. Also, please like and share this video to whoever you think might be in need of it. Thank you. After pinning down, we'll be moving over to the machine to stitch those pinned areas, just the pinned areas, and then we will open up the allowance and fold it inward, just as I am doing in the video, before proceeding to the machine to sew. You can use your iron so that this process can be easy and seamless for you. You can also use your pins, which is what I am doing here. I'll be securing those folds using my pins. Please note that when securing with your pin, ensure that you are not also pinning down those ropes. This is also applicable to when sewing. Ensure that you are not sewing the ropes or else the string will not draw at all. I am just going to continue pinning before I proceed to sew. I am done pinning and this is what it looks like, and I'm sure that you can already feel the effect even without sewing. But just to secure that area, I'll be going over to the machine to sew. This is what we have after sewing. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the rope so that you see the drawstring effect. Moving on, I'll be joining the sides of the dress together as well as aiming the length of the dress. But before then, I'll be adding to the wideness of the pockets because what I have there is too short. I'll also be pinning the rope that I'll be using at the down part. I pinned the rope at the joining of the two fabrics at the down, and I am pinning it on the right side of the fabric. I'll be repeating this procedure on the other side before proceeding to the machine to sew. This is what we have after sewing, and this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you would like me to recreate next time.